And here we go. Welcome everyone, JJZ here. Thank you for joining me as always. Great to be here. We are on Dominator today and we have as the teal Terran, your favorite caster, Artosis. He is facing off against another Zerg. We're going to do another Zerg game today, guys. This guy's name is Donghemian Rhapsody. You might just call him Dong for short. He is a 2200-ish, low rank S tier player on the ladder. He's a ladder grinder. He's got hundreds of games. Again, I think that I want to see again what Artosis has in store for Zerg. He talked recently about how he's feeling about TVZ as the kind of meta for it unfolds. And I think there's been a little bit of frustration. We can probably see it in the games, and I'm going to talk about that if you want to stick around at the end a little bit. Just some thoughts. I'll put into my own words some of the things he said, and then some thoughts on it if you want to stick around for that. I won't bore you with it too much. As we start this game out, it looks like nothing too unusual. Artosis starts his wall with a supply depot and SCV out. Looks like Dong is going to get the early scout with the Overlord. And for all the new subscribers, guys, you guys have shown up. Thank you. I know it's that Toggles game probably put us over the edge here on this channel, so appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. I want to just be really clear after that game, guys, is that I do have nothing but respect for Artosis as both a player, a caster, and a human being. He brought me back to the joy of this game after like 25 years off, as we do have a hatchery first from Zerg. Very standard here so far. Barracks going up for Artosis, and Scout going out. So thank you, RT. Thank you for that. Part of what I think we all love about Artosis is his authenticity. It makes him super relatable, and I think that inside all of us lives a teenage gamer, guys. Could be Starcraft. It could be your boss. It could be family over the holidays. It could be traffic, someone cuts you off. Whatever it is, we all want to rage quit and uninstall life sometimes. As RT gets the nice scout in here, seeing the timing of the spawning pool, dancing through the mineral line. But we don't, guys. We don't quit life, and RT doesn't quit Terran. He finds a way, puts his head down, shoulders back, grinds it out. He figures it out. So thank you, RT, as we push through the dark swarms of life. And we find a way. Let's see if he can find a way today. He's going to park that SCV outside the Zerg base and probably come back in, continue the scout, hatchery up. Dong going into gas, Zerg lair starts. Guys, casting, I appreciate all the comments, and I'm going to say a million wrong things. It feels like my brain sometimes. Like, I know the names of the units, and I know that that's not a spire, that's a lair, but it's your brain just does weird things when you're casting, and you see things, and then you say things, you watch them back later, and it's like, what is going on here? What just happened? Whoa, we had a big freeze there. Sorry, guys. All right, we're going to keep that in. Let's roll with it. I like the start of this game. I don't know why that froze like that, but it did. My mouse stopped working, screen froze, but anyway, Zerglings out chasing that SCV. We have layer halfway done. Artosis going into what looks like Academy 2 racks build here. Pretty standard. He's going to go into Marines and Medics. We'll see if we get that. There's the Academy, and we'll see if we get that push out into the map on a closer spawn here than we saw yesterday against Cross. I'd like to see him get those Marines and Medics out. Force those sunken colonies. Slow down the Zerg a little bit. Spire going to go down right here, I think. Yeah, a little late on that, but doing other things, I imagine. And Academy finishing. We're going to start stim right away, I imagine. Zergling speed almost finished. Dong is droning up here. He just had 2 drones pop. Stim on the way. Medic on the way. This game looking very standard. Dong taking a little poke in, just taking a look at the wall here from Artosis. Everything looking good. Second gas coming up. And Engineering Bay, good timing for that. Under 5 minutes. He should be fine for mutas, even with the close spawn. With that, as he gets... let's play around. We're going to play around a little bit, too, with removing this sometimes, guys. Just to... especially on these bottom corner bases where they do really get in the way. Okay, here comes that push out that we were looking for. So yeah, looks like he's going to go with 1 medic this time and 7 Marines. So nothing wrong with that. Gonna force, yeah, and Dong sees it with the Zerglings. He is going to put up 2 Sunkens. That's exactly what you're looking for. I don't expect Artosis to actually march into that. Just get there and probably turn around to go defend the inevitable Zerg mutas that come around the 5 to 6 minute mark usually. So he is going to check up here, and we do have a base, a sneaky little base, 3rd hatchery base from Dong. Range, or sorry, range on the way for Terran, and he goes back. Zergling's outside the base. He's going to try and sneak in here a little bit. He's got a fire bat to block. That's a great move to put the fire bat to when you march your army out for Terran to hold back any potential counterattack. Now, Dong didn't really have enough Zerglings to do anything too crazy, but you don't want 4 of them up in your main base running around with speed with chasing your SCVs. We've got 3 turrets up here and a 4th by the supply depot, 1 on the barracks and 1 in the main. I expect Artosis will probably make a few more. As we have Mutalisks on the way flying towards Artosis's base. Now, did he scout this, guys? I don't think he did. I don't think he's seen that. We do have scan available. Good amount of Marines here. We'll see how Dong manages this, if he's going to go into the base or try to, you know, shrink that Marine medic ball a little bit. But it looks like he's going to attack this turret. I don't think he has enough here right now to do anything too crazy. With only 4 Mutalisks, guys, you can see how much damage they take just from a single turret. I'm just going to check Artosis. He's going to go and chase these mutas, maybe? Or just go look for that base. Did he might have scanned in here, and Zerg, he might know that there's probably a base on the map somewhere. And he's going to go and check. So let's just take off. Oh, yeah, that's the one we want to... So yeah, he definitely hasn't scanned this yet. He doesn't know that base is there. And we'll see if he can find it as he pushes up here. Chasing some Zerglings. Only 5 Mutalisks from Dong, so not very many. And it looks like he's going right into Hydras, but he's getting... So he's going Spines as in the Evolution Chamber, and then he's getting Hydra movement speed first, which is an interesting choice. I would think you would want to transition into Lurkers here if you're only going to make 5 mutas, and otherwise you're going to have a really hard time. It's going to allow Artosis to get his Marine medic count really high. You can see Dong does pick off a Marine there, but with only 5, there's too many Marines here. They're going to put a lot of damage on these if you fly in there. So Artosis is combing the northern part of the map. His army is pretty far from home, but there really is nothing from Dong that looks dangerous right now as he does transition, and he's getting now Hydra range. So he hasn't done Lurker, he doesn't have the Lurker upgrade yet. So here comes, he's made a couple more mutas. We've got 7 now. That is enough to one-shot SCVs. Artosis wisely returning his army. Now let's see, Artosis has scouted every base except the expansion. So let's just see here again. Yeah, he hasn't found the... Right? Oh, no, he does know it's there. He does... I think he does know it's there. Okay, that's good. So he knows. Oops. That's everybody. Let's get it back. There we go. And a really nice size army here for Artosis. He's got easily 2 groups there of Marines and 4 medics and 1 firebat. So let's see if he decides to push out here. Dong is going to need Lurkers. Does he have the Lurker upgrade? No, he's still researching range on the Hydra. Speed is done. +1 almost done. Artosis also has +1 infantry upgrades coming. So he's probably going to look to see if we look for a timing attack on that. Science facility on the way. So he's going to start on his science vessels. Really good timings for all this. 39 drones to 46 SCVs. Zergs do seem to be droning up more in these more recent games that we've been watching. Like we've seen in some cases, if you're watching Artosis cast too the last few days, like the Zergs are just getting into 50 plus drones really quickly. It seems like that just seems to be a shift in the way they're being played. And here we go. He's going to jump on these turrets, try and get on top of the barracks. Artosis is going to send some Marines in and likely be able to clear that or push them back at least. 6 mutas left, so does get the turrets, but, you know, loses a couple mutas. Artosis will take that trade. And you can see more drones coming out for Dong, this base is getting Carapace, +1, +2 spines on the way now, so he's really going hard Hydra here. Finally, we do see the Lurker upgrade, and I guess he's not going to be punished for that necessarily, in that he delayed that. Artosis didn't push out necessarily in time, but he does have 2 siege tanks, and siege mode will be done by the time he's at the base. So this is a nice timing push at the 10-minute mark for Artosis. 2 solid groups of Marines and Medics, and 2 siege tanks with a science vessel. So he'll be ready for those Lurkers. The timing of the Lurkers is going to be critical here, though, guys. If he's going to need to morph them. Hydra sneaking around. Here comes the push. Does have a good group of Hydras outside the base here. 2 bunkers up for protection, 1 siege tank. See if he can hold this with what he's got at home. Pulling the SCVs. In come the Mutas. It's going to be close. Going to target down that siege tank. It's a good move. Does he have enough Hydras, though, to break the bunkers? No, he kind of pulls out kind of a discombobulated attack there by Dong. Maybe this army, he realized that it scared him, and he thought, oh, I don't want to get into a base trade here. Because, quite frankly, Artosis might have had enough to hold that anyways. So here we go. This is going to actually turn out to be a nice sieged-up push from Artosis. He's going to push the Marines in with the medics, and he's going to take care of those Sunkens. Lurkers are just a little late, guys. We've got 10 Lurkers being morphed, and you can see if those were morphed and ready to go, this push looks completely different, right? It really slows down. Oh, nice defensive matrix there as the Hydras do flank the backside of those Marines and medics. We might have an early one here. Artosis looking good. Lurkers do finish, but now we've still got a siege tank alive and only 5 left with a good amount of Marines and medics left still. So let's see here how this goes. I love the defensive matrix there. Usually you're going to see on Zerg a lot of irradiates, but that was a well-timed, really nice defensive matrix to save that tank and really be able to continue this push into the natural of Dong. We see Dong taking another base in the 9 o'clock position while this is going on. Probably the wrong time to take another base when you're getting hammered at your natural, but if he can survive it, he's going to be happy he did that. I would like to see Artosis maybe. Did he make another command center somewhere? Or is he making one? I would like to see one go up as he hits this attack, and he is going to get this hatchery. 1 Lurker not going to be enough to do anything of consequence. 3 more tanks, or 2 more tanks coming with other reinforcements. Great job here by Artosis to push into this natural and get that hatchery. Okay, so we do have a couple more Lurkers and some Hydras coming up. He gets a tank, but nowhere near enough, I think, to really handle this big force now from Artosis. He's sending more Hydras down. He's macroing up here. He's probably going to try and do another flank from the north. As Artosis does get this, though, really nice. Couple Scourge coming up for Dong to try and get rid of this science vessel. That would help with the Lurkers if you could push max Terran out of their scans. But not looking good here for Dong. Artosis looking great. That was a really nice push that he made. Okay, here come the flanking Hydras that we were talking about. He is going to get the tanks this time, so that's going to slow things down. Yeah, good back out there by Dong. Just get the tanks and get out of there. These are going to go down. Hydra is returning to their base. Here come the Scourge. See if he can pick this science vessel off. Artosis maneuvering it nicely. He's macroing at home, guys. Looks like he's doing a good job of that. And he does pick off the science vessel with the Scourge. Gets an irradiate on the Hydra. Would have loved to see that morph into a Lurker, but didn't get it down in time. Okay, we see another barracks going up. We see more supply depot. Okay, he did build his command center. Really nicely done. So he's going to float that out, take his 3rd. Great job to expand when you attack like that and you get so much damage. Artosis might as well just macro up as his army does fall. But he has rebuilt it, guys. Really nice job by Artosis here. He's keeping his gas spent. You can see his minerals are building up, but the barracks going down to pump more Marines. And I just don't think that with 60 supply here, 60 supply to 128, Zerg is in a lot of trouble usually when they get under that 70 mark. And I just think that we're going to continue to see that trouble. I don't think Dong is going to have enough to hold this army back. So we'll see how it goes. But Artosis is looking great. The follow-up push with 4 tanks, 2 science vessels, and just a ton of Marines and medics. Dong not managing his army the best here, and nice scan by Artosis. He's going to see there's no Lurkers to be afraid of on the high ground, and he's just going to push into this and Nice, another nice defensive matrix. Well played, Artosis. He munches these hydras with his marines and medics, and that should be enough to push into his main base and take it down, as long as he doesn't get stuck on this ramp here. But coming down the ramp is a lot easier than going up the ramp, guys, as we know. Is there any hope here? He's making a creep colony. He's got some sunkens up here. Carapace +2 on the way, but it won't be enough. There's not enough units here. He's down to 50 supply, and that is big trouble. He's going to make another creep colony, but I think we're at the point where we could see the Zerg give up any moment now. Hive a little bit late, of course, too little too late anyways, and really I think we'll talk about it at the end, which I expect to come anytime now, but there it is. There's the face, the good game, however you want to call it, but good job by Artosis. Good job by Artosis. I do want to talk a little bit about the Zerg-Terran matchup, as Artosis did bring it up, and I listened to him talk about it a little bit. I think he's at a bit of a loss on how to play TVZ right now, and it seems like his words, that all the Terran wins lately have been a little bit cheesy. Like, you know, we've seen that on the channel, right? We've seen racks, forward racks or proxy racks, and then you run and try to hit a really early, catch them with an early expand, and win that way, right? But as soon as we get into a game, and the best game, guys, if you want to check it out, where it probably feels like he's banging his head against a wall, is the game against Absolute. And Absolute's a pro gamer, he's a really good player. But man, Artosis did a few things there where he gave himself a chance, but Absolute countered it like so naturally and so easily that it appeared anyways. I know it's not easy, but he made it look easy in that game. And that's kind of what I think Artosis is talking about. He said you have to hit Zerg with a timing attack, and if they do everything right, it just feels unbreakable right now. And I get that. Part of that, guys, is I think because of Flash. And Flash, the best way I could I thought about this yesterday, and I would, if you watch basketball, you probably know who Steph Curry is. And if you don't watch basketball, you probably know who Steph Curry is. Steph Curry changed the game of basketball by optimizing the three-point shot. The problem is that nobody shoots like him. He's the only one that can do it, right? So similarly in StarCraft, nobody optimizes like Flash. So what happens though? Everyone tries to play like Flash. And what happens is when you go to a high school gym now, in anywhere basically, or even younger than that, you're seeing kids that can't shoot pull up from half court or pulling up from the logo and launching threes with no one in position to rebound. And everyone's trying to imitate that, and it's really changed the game. So recently, Fantasy has been back, and Artosis is a huge fan. He's casted a few of his games. I think he's really excited about that because Fantasy has the potential. He plays very differently than Flash. He'll bring some new ideas. He plays at a really high level, and if he can get tuned up and ready for the next ASL, it could be really exciting for Terran, because there might be some new ideas that he may figure out, or he may figure out something that kind of doesn't allow Zerg to just get all that damage in with the mutas, transition and build their sunkens, transition to hydras and lurkers, slow down that SK push, and just get into defilers where as soon as they get that dark swarm up, it becomes really difficult, and they take map control. It becomes really difficult for Terran. RT did talk a little bit about how it's a little bit easier to manage on 3-person maps than it is on 4-person maps, and he said, I think, something to the degree of it's just because Zerg just automatically gets another main base on 4-person maps. At 3-person maps, at least there's some attacks you can do. Now, I don't fully understand that, guys. I'm still learning as I come back, but it does probably just the position of the bases. And if you understand that well, leave a comment. I appreciate it. So Artosis will push forward. He said at the end of that kind of diatribe that he's going to just look for a glimmer of hope. Some of that hope is that maybe transitioning into battle cruisers, so we'll look for that. Is that he talked about going 4 science vessels, 2 starport, 4 science vessels, and then just start making battle cruisers. And battle cruisers can be really difficult for Zerg because it's high APM for them to manage. If you just send, it's low APM for Terran, you just send a couple battle cruisers towards a Zerg expansion, and then you think about they have to make some Scourge, they have to get a Defiler down there, they have to plague the battle cruisers, they have to either make hydras, but they have to, it's a lot of clicks to deal with. You know, if you just had 2 battle cruisers on this base here, all of a sudden, and you're engaging in the middle of the map or defending your natural or trying to put an attack on Terran, that you can see how that's really easy for Terran to do and hard for Zerg to do, so to deal with. So so something like that, he talked about mech, you know, trying mech and these different things, but mech is not ideal for TVZ. Anyway, guys, I'll stop ranting. If you stuck around, I appreciate it. I don't expect you to. As always, really appreciate you watching. Thanks for listening. We will catch you on the next one.